After almost 5 years on the road traveling, I finally found a place to call home. 40 acres shared with two of my friends, a place where I could put down roots and build something with my own two hands. And honestly, watching this land slowly become home has been one of the most exciting chapters of my life. But sometimes life has a way of changing the plans we thought we had figured out. Ever since getting the bad news about my health, I've taken a little break from working on the land. Not because I've lost the dream, but because I've had a lot to process and a lot to think about. I found myself asking questions I never thought I'd have to ask, like, can I keep doing this? Can I physically continue building this place? Can I still build the future I've been dreaming about? And I don't have all those answers yet, but there is one thing I do know about myself. I do not give up. Life has knocked me down plenty of times, and somehow I've always found a way to get back up. So no, I'm not giving up on this land or the future I've been working so hard to create. I just may have to slow down. I may have to change the way I do things, and I may have to rethink some of the plans I had. But sometimes changing the plan doesn't mean giving up on the dream. It just means finding a different way to get there. Can you say good morning? You say good morning? That's her favorite spot to sit at, is by the windows. Right? Yeah. I see my spirit animals. I see my spirit animals. Oh, duck. Look. Oh, hello. How awesome is that? What? There's another one too. I just don't know where it is. But that's my spirit animal. Deer or my spirit animal. I wish they would know that I'm their spirit human, because then they would come over to me. Oh, hello. Yep. I'm your spirit human. Okay, well, here comes the other one. The other one's coming out the woods. Oh, I don't want to go any closer because I don't want to spook them. Oh. I love when I see my spirit animals. The other one is right over there. Can't see them because of the trees. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, there's the babies. Okay, this is as close as I'm going to get because I don't want them to run from me. How precious. Oh, this is amazing. Look at that. I know. Hello there. Hi. Look at those ears. Look at those ears. Well, good morning, guys. I figured I need to make this video right here because a lot of you guys were really concerned about me. I kind of almost had a little emotional breakdown on, you know, the video talking about my health and my diagnosis that I got. Right now, I am in Williams, Arizona, in a forest up here. I'm working my way across Arizona right now to take, where's she at? To take little one, to take her to her veterinarian appointment. She has a checkup appointment because she also needs to get her medication refilled. She's almost done with her pills. She still has another bottle of this, but it's time for her to get her medication refilled. She has heart issues for the ones that are new to the channel, and she has to be on medication for the rest of her life for her heart. So, that's why I'm not at the property right now. It's because I'm working my way over there. And whereas this drive from my property over to where her veterinarian is only like a 5-hour drive, I have come to realize that I cannot do 5-hour drives anymore. So that's been a little upsetting with me also. I know that some people couldn't understand why I kind of got so upset about my diagnosis that I have. And I know a lot of you guys actually have the same diagnosis. And thank you so much for sharing that with me. My whole entire mother's side of the family had this diagnosis, and for the ones that might just be watching this for the first time, I have sciatica, and I also have, I'm gonna say this word wrong, I also have arthritic degenerative disc disease. It's that one word that always gets me. So watching my whole entire mom's side of the family go through this, and all of them having multiple surgeries. Everyone on my mom's side of the family has passed away except for my aunt. My aunt is still alive, and my aunt is my best friend in the whole entire world. I talk to my aunt like 2 or 3 times a day. My aunt is going through this this disease, and she's been going through it for a long time, and she's had, I don't even know how many back surgeries, but a lot of back surgeries and neck surgeries. And after all these surgeries and everything, she's still in pain. I still listen to her cry on the phone every week, multiple times, about her pain. So So it has me concerned, and it's something that I've lived in fear of my whole entire life. Was I really hoped I didn't get this disease. And so my biggest fear came true. Something for my whole life that I lived in fear of. So this is why I took the news really, really bad. Because I know what my aunt goes through. I've read a lot of y'all's comments, and it seems like you guys go through the similar things with the pain and stuff like that. So, I've taken some time since I've gotten the news. I've had my emotional breakdown. I've talked to my aunt so much about this right here. I've done so much research on this. So much research. This is what these cherries are for right here. I'm having to change a lot of things around. My diet, my food that I eat. Because I need to focus on eating food that is good for anti-inflammatory. I don't need to get my, back and all that inflamed. I hope I'm saying all this right. Cherries, by the way, cherries are good anti-inflammatory food. So I've done a lot of research. Looks like I'll be eating a lot of chicken and fish. At first I thought I was going to have to give up red meat completely, but it looks like I can eat lean red meat that is organic, that has no extra add-ons, in the meat, which is probably better for me. There's a few things I had to give up. I've been drinking way more water than I normally have. I know somebody was concerned and said I need to drink electrolytes. I do drink electrolytes, by the way, so I drink electrolytes every day. I've done that forever. I had to give up a lot of food that I like. Sugar is not going to be, you guys know I love my sweet tea. I am from the South, but sweet tea is no longer for me. Sugar is a bad inflammatory thing for you to digest. I'm trying to make this as short as I can. The homestead. Well, I'll get into the homestead in a few, but I just want to discuss that. I've done a lot of research, and like the exercises and everything, I have to do these stretching exercises. I've been doing them once or twice a day. I've been walking little one more now. I've been doing hikes more. Like yesterday I did a hike. The day before I did a hike here in the forest. You have to keep your body moving. And that's so funny because my aunt, I used to always get on to her all the time, and I used to tell her, you need to sit down, you need to relax, go lay in the bed, relax, get off your feet, stop doing so much, because she's a busy body person. And now that I've been doing the research and everything, I see that you can't do that. You cannot lay in bed. You have to have your bones constantly moving. You need to be active. So, I'm doing that. We'll talk about the homestead in a minute. Okay, so for the land and the homestead that I've been so excited to be at and to have, and have already put in a good bit of work in the 4 months that I've been there. I mean, I think I've done some pretty good work in the 4 months that I've been there. It's been a dream of mine to have a place of my own and to build the place on my own. And I finally got that opportunity, and finally got the land that I wanted with 2 of my friends, 40 acres in the high desert. To me, I feel like it's beautiful, 360-degree views. And my 2 friends that I got the 40 acres with, I couldn't have picked more better people to have gotten land with. So I was living my dream. I've been living my dream for the last 5 years because I was traveling full-time on the road, full-time, for 4.5 years, exploring beautiful Mother Nature in all these states across the United States. And then getting the land was just continuing the journey of my dream and my mental well-being. You don't look very comfortable. I've only been at the land and working on it. I've only been at the land for 4 months. I've only been working on it for about 3. Actually, a little less than 3, because for the last month I've been dealing with my health issues. I've never in my whole entire life put walls up, hammered nails in walls, put a ceiling up, put flooring down, dug deep holes, used a pickaxe, carried these heavy pieces of plywood on my own. I've never painted a wall. And until you guys do stuff like that on your own and it's your first time ever doing it, the feeling that you have while you're working so hard doing this stuff, and after you get finished doing everything, and then you see the completed project and you know that you did that, there is no other feeling in the world. No other feeling in the world. The feeling of accomplishment. The feeling of, oh my God, I just did this. That's some hard work. So when I got this news, you know, and the doctor has told me that I can't lift over 40 pounds anymore. If I continue working on the homestead, anything that I'm doing, any work that I'm doing, I need to wear a back brace. I need to ask for help. That's one thing that I've always had a hard time doing, is asking for help. I've always been like so stubborn. I'm that independent, strong woman. So I didn't know if this was going to be the end of my dream of building on my homestead, because I had a project coming up, and this project was going to consist of putting about 25 to 30 4x6 by 12 wooden posts in the ground with cement. It's a little windy. And as we all know, that those posts are probably really, really heavy. So I can't do that anymore. Then I had to rethink, because, you know, I had this idea for a house that I wanted to build. And it was going to be a Quonset hut, and I was going to do like some cob clay or adobe on the outside of it, and I was going to do it underground. But realistically, I need to really put into consideration with my diagnosis and my health issues now, I need to look at my future. And I need my house to not, I know my pain is only going to get worse the older that I get. And I, by the ways, am not going to have surgery. It's pointless. Everybody in my family that had surgery for this condition, I feel like it just made it worse for them. So I will not have surgery. So when I'm 80 years old, there's no telling how I'm going to be. And I don't need to have a house that's going to be, I'm going to have to keep maintaining it throughout the years and stuff, because when I'm 80, and if I'm dealing with this even worse, it's going to be hard for me to maintain something like that. So I've changed my idea of everything, including the project that I had coming up. So this is all going to with the homestead. I'm not giving up, excuse me, my dream. I'm going to continue with the homestead and building my dream. I just have to do it a little differently now. And I am going to have to ask for help. So I've decided on something else for my home, and I'm going to actually go ahead and look into start doing this for my home. I need to figure it out a little bit more, but I will not be doing the Quonset hut underground anymore. I will not be building, I will be sort of working with 4x6 by 12 posts, but I'm going to have to get people to help me with that. But it's not going to be 25 to 30 of them now. It's I'm only going to do part of that project that I was going to do. Things are just changing. They're changing. But it's one thing that if you have followed the channel for a while, then you guys know my life story. You guys know everything that I've been through my whole entire life, since I was a kid up until now. And all the things that I've been through in my life have been traumatic. But I never gave up. That's one thing that I don't do, is give up. And I'm not going to give up now. The universe likes to keep knocking me down all the time. Why? I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. It's not like I'm not a bad person, you know, like I'm not a bad person. I'm just so baffled of why my whole life seems to be nothing but knockdowns. And I'm not saying the whole life, because I have had some good things. You know, I have, you know, these last 5 years of living in nature, and surrounding myself around nature and everything, and having all you guys, you know, those have been some good times and everything. But sometimes I just feel like the bad times in my whole entire life has outweighed those good times. but I'm not giving up. So I'm a stubborn person, and I will not give up. I don't care how hard the universe tries to knock me down, but I will not give up at all. And so I'm not going to give up on my dream. I just have to do a lot of changes in my life. One of the things I'm very passionate about also is traveling and seeing all these beautiful places. And even though I have the homestead and I'm trying to work on that and everything, I still am traveling every once in a while because I need breaks from working on the homestead. But now I've realized that I can't travel long distances. I just ordered a lumbar seat cushion and a lumbar pillow for my back for the seat. I'm hoping that makes a difference, but 2 hours into this drive right here, I was in pain, and I had to stop at a rest stop, and I have this back brace that heats up and massages, and I had to put the back brace on at the rest stop, put it on for about 15 minutes, and I walked around a little bit so I could stretch out and everything, and then I had to continue the drive. So I cried and was very upset about that because this is something I'm passionate about, is driving and traveling. So I will be doing some changes with that. I'm not going to give up traveling. I just have to do it slower. And I have to figure that out. I'm thinking that it might, because I don't have the cushion and the pillow yet, I'm thinking it might be a little bit more comfortable in the Jeep. And with that being said, I am going to make the announcement here. I will be selling the bus. My friend that gave me the bus for my birthday, I've already talked to him and let him know, because he actually told me when I first got the homestead, he said, you should sell the bus, have more money towards your homestead. But I wasn't done with traveling. I'm still not done with traveling. I just got to refigure it out. The bus, because I'm not traveling as much, and because I'm about to have a permanent home when I can get it all figured out on the property, there's no need for me to have the bus anymore. It just sits for a long time on the property, and it's not good to have a vehicle like this just sitting on the property. Now with my medical bills, and with little one's medical bill that's coming up, because every time she has her checkup appointment and gets her medicine refilled, it's like anywhere between $600 to $700 for this appointment. And then my medical bills that I just paid cash for, and God knows what other bills I'm going to have. And then also my house that I want to do, I could use the extra money. And so I'm going to sell the bus, and I will be traveling in the Jeep again once I sell the bus. I'm not going to live inside the Jeep. I'm going to do a rooftop tent on the Jeep this time. So, because I have to be, it's all about comfort for me, you know, now. So, it just makes sense to sell the bus. I'm letting you guys know before I list it. I've never done a whole video on how I live in this bus and how I'm able to live in the middle of nowhere for a month before I have to go stock up on water or stock up on anything with this bus. I'm pretty set up, pretty good in this bus. So I will be doing a video on how I live in the bus so everybody can see how I live in the bus and everything that I have with the bus. If anybody is interested in the bus, shoot me an email, because I haven't listed the bus yet, but I will be listing it soon. So it's just a lot of life changes that I'll be doing, and a lot of things that are going to be different. Well, it's the afternoon, so it's time for that little hike I was telling you guys about. I used to be an avid hiker anyways. So it's good that I'm getting back into the hiking. So, yeah. Where I'm camped at, by the way, This is, I'll probably say this word wrong, Kebab National Forest in Williams, Arizona. So it's kind of like the halfway point from my property to Little One's veterinarian. Since I can't make that 5-hour drive anymore. Oh well. So, not gonna lie to you guys. I mean, I've already said it in the video, and you guys already saw it in my past videos. I was an emotional wreck. I really was. But you guys know, I suffer with mental illnesses, and one of those mental illnesses is manic depression. So when I get bad news, or when I go through some bad stuff or whatever, it always affects me probably a little worse than it should. So, and honestly, I don't think I overreacted on this. You know, this is something I feared my whole entire life, and I watched my family go through the pain and the suffering, and I still watch my aunt go through it, you know, all the time. So, and now it has hit me, and now I am affected by it. So, and I'm only halfway through my life, you know. I've got so much more to live and do and see and experience, and so the rest of the half of my life, I have to figure it out now. So I'm not going to tell you guys right now what I've decided to do for my home, because I need to figure a few things out. I need to go have a talk with some people. But in due time, you guys will know. It'll be soon. And, you know, I do appreciate you guys being patient with me this month right here, as it's been such a tough month for me dealing with my pain and the health issues that I have. And I just want to tell you guys, you know, because when I went to the doctor, they gave me a shot in my butt, cortisone for the pain. And the doctor said that the shot could help the pain for up to a month. So far it's been, I want to say about a week. Yeah, it's been about a week. And I still don't have pain except for doing the drive in the bus. But besides driving in the bus and having the pain from that, I haven't had any pain since. So the shot must still be working. Plus, I'm sure, you know, me doing the exercises and changing my diet and hiking and all that good stuff. But I will be back at the land soon. It's a couple more days before I have to, before it's Little One's appointment. And then after her appointment, I can't drive straight back to the land. So I'm going to be stopping over somewhere again. And I'll probably spend a couple more days, and it'll probably be it's going to be somewhere else, not in Williams. So I'll be stopping over somewhere else for a few days, and then I'll be back at the property. And then, you know, the homestead videos will start again, because I still have to get that water tank, because that's another thing that I had to change, you know. The bus, you know, my water on the bus underneath the sink is 7 gallons of water. Plus my, I guess you would call it gray tank, where the water from the sink goes into. That's a 7-gallon jug too. Well, 7 gallons of water is too heavy for me to pick up anymore. It's just too heavy to lift. I mean, I can still do it, but my doctor said don't lift over 40 pounds. So I have to really be strict with this. So I had to go buy a 4-gallon jug and a 2.5-gallon jug that I went and bought. And the system that I'm using now is I fill up the 2.5-gallon jug and the it's a 5-gallon. A 5-gallon jug, which I don't fill all the way up. I only put 4 gallons of water in the 5-gallon jug. So basically what I do is now when my 7-gallon container of water underneath my sink in the bus is empty or getting empty, I take the 2.5-gallon jug of water and I pour it into the 7-gallon jug. And then the 5-gallon jug that I only put 4 gallons of water in, I take that, pour that into the 2.5-gallon jug, and then I put the 2.5-gallon jug in the set. So it's like a whole new system that I have to do now. It's more process. So yeah, I had to change that around, you know. Have to refigure a lot of things out. A lot of things. But anyways, the water tank, you know, I have had the water tank at the property for almost, I think, the first month that I got there at the land. But I just never have gotten the water filled in it yet. My friends, they have water tanks also. So when I get back to the property, I will be finally tackling the water tank. It took me a while to really get this water tank done because I was trying to figure out how I can insulate it and what I can do for the winter time, because we do get snow in the area that we're at. And the water tank was a concern of mine. Obviously, it's a black water tank with the sun hitting it. You know, that would help, but you still got the evening and the mornings. So I didn't want the water freezing. I met a few locals. I talked to everybody, asked them how they did their water tank. And after talking to a lot of locals and comparing what everybody said, I have figured out how I'm going to insulate my water tank. So that's kind of what was taking me a little bit long with the water tank. But now I have to get the water tank done because I can't keep carrying these 7-gallon jugs that I have to the water stations that are in town and lifting them up and filling them up with water and then putting them back in the Jeep, and you know, because I can't lift the 7-gallon jugs anymore. So I need to have the water at the property now. I needed to get the water tank done anyway, so. So that's going to be the first thing. I will be building something around the water tank, but it's not going to be hard work. It's not going to be really heavy. It's just going to require some, is it 2x4s? I think it's 2x4s. I'm still learning all this. Some 2x4s or 4x4s. Pretty sure it's 2x4. I think it's 2x4. And a saw. So, yeah. So I'll be doing that when I get back. And then, figuring some other things out. So, just want to say, again, thank you guys for being patient. Thank you guys for understanding. This has been such a rough month for me. The videos have just been kind of crazy because it's just been about my health. But I have not even been at my land and property for the last month, except for when I went there when the shipping container arrived, because I needed to be there for when the shipping container arrived. So it'd be nice to get back into the groove of things. And I'm pretty excited about what I decided on for my actual home to live in. And I know that some of you guys are probably shocked about the bus situation, you know, about me selling the bus, but you guys have to understand, I have to change my whole entire lifestyle around. My biggest focus and biggest concern right now is trying to live without pain. Trying to live without pain and trying to prolong that for as long as I can. I'm really nervous for when this month is up with this shot, because I do have some muscle relaxers and some anti-inflammatory pain pills that they gave me and stuff, but I'm trying not to touch those. So, and they didn't even give me that much. So I'm just trying to prolong of having no pain right now. That's my big focus. So I have to get rid of the bus. I have to sell the bus. It's just not comfort wise for me anymore either, the bus. And then I have to replenish, you know, my savings with these medical bills and everything, and little one's medical bill that's coming up, and future medical bills, because one of the first things that I'm doing also when I get back to the land is going in and talking to a primary doctor and establishing a primary doctor, so I don't have to go through the hot mess of trying to get help at an urgent care or emergency room, because we all know how that went. So and I miss traveling in the Jeep anyways. You know, the Jeep could get me to so many different places, and so many more secluded places than the bus could. I've loved the bus. I really have. I've enjoyed having the bus. You know, after living in Jeeps for so many years, and then having a bus, and I kind of always wanted a bus, to be honest with you. It was like having a mansion on wheels. And I really did enjoy having the bus. I still enjoy having the bus. But realistically, I have to think for my future, and I have to think for what's good for me, you know. And also, I hate to see the bus just sitting there and me not using it, you know. So it's just not good for the bus. And I miss traveling in the Jeep anyways, you know, so. All right, I'm gonna work my way back over this way. What is that? What is that? I see some animals. What are those? Oh, well, you guys know me and animals. We gotta go see what this is. Well, we're going to go check out these animals. Oh my God, there's so many of them. So many. Well, we're going to go check and see what they... Oh my God, are they... Okay. Obviously, I'm going to turn the camera around, but thank you guys very much for being patient this month. The normal schedule will go back to working on the homestead, and things just have to go a little bit differently and everything. But like I said, I'm not giving that dream up. Oh my God, there's so many of them. And I'm excited to get back to the property. So in due time, it'll be back to its normal schedule. And thank you guys. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for understanding and being patient. Now let's go see what these animals are. Look at all these sheep. Oh my goodness gracious, look at them. There's so many sheep I've never seen. Are these like wild sheep? I'm in the middle of a forest. I've never been in a forest and just seen so many sheep. I mean, I've never been in a forest and seen a sheep, let alone hundreds. Is there a such thing as wild sheep? I don't know, but there's hundreds. Look at that. There's so many. And they go all the way back, like all the way through those trees, and all the way through those trees. I've never in my life seen so many sheep before. What? Wow. I'm so confused. Just hundreds. Oh. There's the black sheep of the family. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. I'm so confused right now. Like, so confused. I'm literally deep in the middle of a forest. And there's just hundreds of freaking sheep. So strange. Look at them. Okay, there's the bus. There's this little baby right here that's not a sheep. And they're all just following that guy right there and his dogs. I just gave that guy some water, actually. This is crazy. I'm surrounded. Yeah, the herder over there, he didn't speak English. So we tried to communicate, but I gave him like 5 bottles of water for him and his dogs. Looks like he's got 3 dogs that is herding this whole entire herd. We were able to communicate a little bit, like, but I know. Bah. Yeah. Some of them got bells around their necks. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Oh my God, where are y'all running? Why are you running? What are you running for? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. This is so great. They're in our campsite. They're in our campsite. Okay. Oh my God, I'm getting a kick out of this. This is making my whole day right here. Alrighty. Okay. Alright. Yeah, it was good seeing you guys. That's so crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's okay. I'm not going to harm you guys. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, we got 2 that are just scraggling behind. I should have had my GoPro for this. I would have got better footage of the GoPro. Oh my God, this is so crazy. I mean, there's just hundreds of them. Like, hundreds. Look at that. It just goes all the way back there. And back and back. There's got to be another dog back there. So maybe there's more than 3, because I would imagine that there's another dog at the end of all this. I mean, is this like 1,000? Maybe it's 1,000. Oh, I can't get enough of this right now. I can't. This is amazing. Oh, I do see a fourth dog, actually. Okay, so there is 4 dogs. Oh my God. Hi. Hi. Hello. Oh my gosh. So, that that was probably one of my most epic moments just now. Being in the center of all of those sheep. Oh my gosh. um I know it probably doesn't seem much to some of you guys, but I just have this thing for animals and wildlife and just any animals, period. And just to be surrounded by, there's got to be 1,000 sheep. There has to be 1,000. But to be surrounded by all those sheep and just be literally in the center of all of them, that was so epic. I did talk to the handler, herder, I don't know what he's called, the guy that herds these sheep through this forest. I went and talked to him, or I tried to talk to him. He didn't speak English. I think he was Hispanic. Well, he was speaking. I do know some Spanish, so I was able to conversate a little bit with him. I was able to get out of him, I'm pretty sure it's what I got out of him, because I asked him, I said, so what do you do? Because this is a national forest, by the way. I said, so what, do you just herd these sheep through the forest, like, all day long, or multiple days? And I think from what I got out of him, he said, yes, they just herd them through here because the sheep just graze on the grass. And there's other guys that do it too. They take turns herding these sheep through, because we've already seen the sheep one time go by here. And this has got to be the same group. So, but I wasn't able to talk to the herder before, so this time I was able to. And then, like I said, I gave him, I'm leaving here tomorrow, so when I leave here tomorrow, I'll be going to stock up on groceries and water again when I leave here. So I was able to give him some of my water for him and his dogs, because there's no telling how much water they carry on them, I guess. I don't know. This is all new to me. I've never... I mean, look at it. The sheep are just... They're still here. They're still over there. That's my kitchen tent. And I am camping with a friend of mine, by the way. So one of my friends is actually traveling through Arizona with me right now. So, but he's not here. He missed out. He missed out. He did get to see the sheep when it came through the other day, but they didn't come through our campsite. So, my adrenaline is like so high because I've never been surrounded by a massive amount of animals before, like I just was with these sheep. So apparently some of the sheep have bells, like cowbells around their necks. Not all of them do. I tried to ask them about that, but I couldn't understand them. I understood them a little bit, but how freaking cool is this? They're all... I see some running through there. They're all... This is a hill back there, by the way. So they're all over there. They're running this way. So the dogs must be herding them over this way. They're all up the hill. All up the hill. All up there. And all out there. I mean, there's definitely at least 1,000. Yeah, the dogs have got to be herding them back this way. So, because they're all running. I don't see the dogs though. This is so cool. Oh my God. So cool. Well, this is one of those epic moments for me. I don't even know if you guys can see them. They're everywhere. Uh-oh. That one over there is limping. He's got something wrong with his foot. I want some sheep. I want a sheep. So cool. So cool. There's so many of them.